FirstCoast.tv is here live at the corner of St. Marco and May Street. As you can see here, there's a field right in front of me, and this field is where there is the possibility of a 7-Eleven opening its doors to the public. Just like there's a group of people who want this business here, there's also a large group of people who are protesting the 7-Eleven coming to this corner right here. As you can see, there's a lovely little carousel. The public library is also across the street. And your name is?
Gina Burrell. I'm the one that organized this. I organized the rally.
You're the organizer.
I sent out all the notices, and this would be atrocious if it was here. The traffic is already bad, and all these big tanker trucks coming in here, it's going to be a hazard. And we have the deaf and blind school nearby. The kids are always walking by here, so it would be hard. And it's right on the edge of a National Historic Register site.
Melinda Raconce, and I'm Vice President of the Nelmar Terrace Neighborhood Association.
What are the reasons for you opposing the 7-Eleven in this spot right here?
Well, there are many reasons. Primarily the traffic snarl this is going to cause. We've always been aware this is zone commercial. We are not against a commercial entity going in here, as long as it's in lines with the design standards for the entry corridor. Basically, we were expecting a line of long old-fashioned shops like what used to sit on this lot before. In fact, the demolition permit was given with the idea that that's what would be replaced. Never in 1,000 years did we dream that a 12-pump convenience station would go in on this corner.
Matt Schaefer. I'm the president of the Nelmar Terrace Neighborhood Association.
So as far as we know, the city issued a permit, is that correct?
The city has issued the permit, and we have 30 days to appeal that decision.
And I also heard that DOT is about to issue a permit, possibly?
They are. We're hearing that they are about to issue their permits as well. Their permits relate to the ingress and egress onto the state roads.
Would that be the last hurdle for 7-Eleven to actually then start construction here?
It appears that way. So we're looking at what we can do on both those avenues. We're trying to get FDOT to uphold their own recommendations for their ingress and egress, because if they would stand by their own recommendations, then that would be for a wider driveway, wider turning radius than what the city would allow here, and that would preclude such a development from happening here. So we're pursuing that avenue as well as the city's permit, because we believe that the city, with all due respect to them, issued that permit in error.
Do you have a time frame for all this to happen before you can actually say you have a chance or you don't have a chance?
We believe that we have a chance, or else that we wouldn't still be putting all of this time and effort and money into it. Our deadline with the city, like I say, is 30 days from the date that the permit was issued. I believe that was September 9th, so we have until October 9th, give or take a day, on that issue. FDOT is very timely. We want to stop them from issuing those permits right now.
Do you know if 7-Eleven would like to start construction here this year or next year?
Oh, they're ready. My understanding is that they're ready. They would have started it by now if they had all the permits that they needed. I can't speak for them, but that's my impression.
My name is Jo Sinclair. I'm here. I live in this neighborhood. I'm 2 blocks away, but that's not really the reason I'm really here. I am here for the vision plan for St. Augustine and preservation of St. Augustine. This corner is actually designated on a map as a historic corner, and we have no right allowing a large foreign development company that owns 7-Eleven to come in and build here.
Yeah, a lot of the people that come here also are in the neighborhood, and they're expressing the traffic will grow. There's a blind school up the street. Traffic here is quite bad already. What do you think are your chances of being victorious on this whole protest against 7-Eleven?
Well, what I would actually like to see is, I believe that this is an issue that needs to be presented nationally and build national sentiment for America's oldest city. that this is not what we want in this town to preserve its historic heritage tourism and, you know, the beauty of St. Augustine. Preservation of the environment. This actual roadway is a historic roadway, A1A. We have the marshland down there. There's a lot of other issues besides just traffic and the basics of D&B kids walking through. We don't need it. We don't want it. We don't want 7-Eleven here.
The understanding of FirstCoast.tv is that 7-Eleven already has the permit. So this protest basically is to revoke that permit?
We have a chance, as I understand it, to actually go towards this to the City Commission with an appeal as a neighborhood association. Our intention is actually to get legal help and to fight it as citizens. If the city can't help us and the city doesn't have a vision and aren't willing to take the chance and fight for something that's right, then the citizens are going to have to do it.
Neil White.
And why are you here, Mr. White?
I live right down the street, and I have safety concerns for 911 response for this area. I'm a professional firefighter in Jacksonville, been doing it for 30 years. Seconds and matters count in an emergency situation. I've already seen firsthand because emergency traffic trying to move up and down May Street, going over to Vilano, is already delayed because of a heavy traffic situation. This store going in here is going to hinder that, and I think it potentially could have lives lost.
What do you think are their odds of success?
Honestly, don't know. We're up against a major battle here because 7-Eleven is a large corporation with a lot of resources and money. And I'm not anti-business, but this is not a good business to have on this corner with the traffic for multiple reasons. Like I said, the safety concerns are big. There's a lot of pedestrian foot traffic through this whole area, which will be more of a hazard to them also. And even the environmental concerns too, from having 12 gas pumps in this area right here is a bad thing. This is a flood zone. It's a flood zone, so I have concerns there.
I hear a lot of the organizers say basically that they have nothing against 7-Eleven. They welcome 7-Eleven in another spot, but not this spot right here.
I feel the same way. I mean, up here on US 1, which is one block over, it'd be great up there, and I'm pro-business for a long shot, but this particular area is a residential neighborhood, and you can hear the traffic behind me. It's very busy. I mean, catty corner here, we have kids playing in the park. Right down the road, we have children and young adults walking around with red-tip canes because they're blind. And it's kind of a bad area to have a lot of traffic, people pulling large boats in and out.
And what does your sign say? 7-Eleven traffic will slow 9/11 response time. Well, thank you.
Yes,
And
sir,
thank you for your service as a firefighter also.
Yes, sir, I appreciate it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Kathy Schermacher.
Kathy, and why are you here?
I'm here. I don't live in this neighborhood directly. I live a little bit further down San Marco, but this project is something that's going to affect the entire city of St. Augustine, and I'm here to support the Nelmar Terrace Neighborhood Association and to also voice my opinion that this is a very bad project and that this should not be permitted.
What do you think are the odds of the protesters who actually blocked this project from 7-Eleven?
I think we have a good chance. The Nelmar Terrace Association is hiring an attorney, and we're going to appeal to the City Commission to revoke the permit that was issued by the City Building Department. We're also continuing to work with the Florida Department of Transportation, FDOT. Also, people are contacting FEMA because this is the main evacuation route from Vilano Beach and the Barrier Islands. And this is not a good place to have a lot of congestion in the time of a natural disaster of any kind, a hurricane, a storm, anything else. And then, of course, we still have individuals who are also contacting our elected representatives and other people in authority to try to get them to use their influence to stop this project.
I'm Dennis Maloney. I live at 17 May Street, 6 houses up from this disastrous deal.
And why do you think it's a disastrous deal?
Well, right now we have a lot of traffic problems to begin with. I can hardly get in and out of my own driveway on certain days. So I think if we have a 7-Eleven here, it might be a little bit more difficult.
Judith Fox Fleeser.
Do you think you have a good chance on beating this?
I think we do, as long as we're persistent, as long as we don't give up. I just learned that the city government expects us to appeal their decision.
So it seems For the information I've received from the protesters, as I've talked to some of them, is that the City of St. Augustine already issued the permit to 7-Eleven. But it seems that the Department of Transportation now has a second permit that they need, and that is the permit that the association is trying to block. Other protesters have said that the Department of Transportation is giving few answers to their questions, and it's a bit frustrating for them because there's data that the Department of Transportation has acquired here and seems is not willing to share some of it or all of it. So that is the frustration coming from the protesters.